From the cold void beyond the galactic rim, they came, hunger incarnate, a living tide of claws, carapace, and biomass. The Tyranids aren't just aliens. They're the end of all the biological life as we know it. And among their endless swarm, few are as terrifying or iconic as the Tyranid Warriors. Taller than a space marine and armed with bioweapons grown straight from their own flesh, Tyranid Warriors are the backbone of the Hive Fleets. They're not just brute killers, they're synaptic conduits, the nerve clusters of the swarm, relaying the Hive Mind's will across the battlefield. But what are they, really? Are they individuals, or just neurons in a galaxy-sized brain? What are they made of? How do they evolve? And why do they come in so many terrifying shapes and sizes? In this episode, we'll dig into the twisted bioengineering of the Tyranid Warrior. From their origins in the first Hive Fleets to their evolving role in modern Tyranid invasions, this is the story of an apex predator, sculpted for adaptability, coordination, and pure merciless war. The Hive Mind has no mercy, only purpose, and these are its chosen instruments. A history of the Tyranid Warriors. The Tyranids are not native to our galaxy. They are invaders from the void beyond, extra-dimensional predators driven by an all-consuming instinct: devour, adapt, evolve. The Imperium first learned of them during the catastrophic invasion of Tyran, the world that would give the species its name. But the truth is, they've likely consumed countless galaxies before this one. Ours is simply next on the menu. And wherever the Tyranids go, Tyranid Warriors follow. These towering, multi-limbed creatures are one of the oldest and most essential bioforms in the Tyranid arsenal. Unlike gaunts or hormagaunts, which are little more than living ammunition, warriors possess something more valuable: synaptic control. They serve as living relays for the Hive Mind, keeping the swarm coordinated even in the heat of battle. Without them, the lesser creatures become feral, disorganized. With them, the swarm moves like a single organism, flawless, precise, unstoppable. Tyranid warriors were first encountered during Hive Fleet Behemoth's assault on Macragge, where Ultramarines recorded their strength and strategic importance. Since then, they've appeared in every major Tyranid invasion: Kraken, Leviathan, Hydra, and now Hive Fleet Leviathan's tendrils reaching into the heart of the Imperium. Over time, the warriors have evolved. Faster, smarter, deadlier. They've been observed wielding everything from symbiotic plasma weapons to bone swords and lash whips. Some sprout wings and take to the skies. Others burrow beneath the battlefield like living mines. This isn't just adaptation, it's escalation. The Hive Mind is learning and reshaping its warriors accordingly. But the true horror is this: every warrior that falls is just biomass to be reabsorbed, its genetic lessons stored, its failures corrected. There is no retreat, no preservation, just refinement, in a cycle of perpetual perfect predation. In the long history of galactic war, the Tyranid Warrior is unique. It is not bred for glory, survival, or even individuality. It exists only to serve a greater intelligence. No name, no soul, just function. And that, perhaps, is what makes them so terrifying. Not what they are, but what they represent. A future where all sentient life is reduced to biomass, and purpose is dictated from above. And make no mistake, this is only the beginning. Each new Hive fleet brings refinements, new warrior strains, new horrors. The galaxy's defenders may know their names. They may chart their movements and devise new weapons to kill them. But the Tyranids don't care. They're not here for conquest. They're here to consume. The anatomy of a Tyranid Warrior. If you could peel back the chitin and ichor of a Tyranid Warrior, assuming you survived long enough to try, you'd find something horrifying. Not chaotic, not disordered, but precise, purposeful. Every cell, every tendon, every drop of its alien blood is engineered for war. Standing between 8 and 10 feet tall, a Tyranid Warrior is a towering monstrosity of dense muscle, reinforced bone, and segmented armor plating. Its exoskeleton is composed of biochitin, a flexible but incredibly tough material that can deflect small arms fire and shrug off las blasts. Beneath that armor lies multi-layered musculature, allowing it to move with terrifying speed and strength. And despite its bulk, the brain of a warrior isn't particularly independent, but it doesn't need to be. It's wired for synaptic resonance, acting like a biological repeater station for the Hive Mind. It doesn't think in the human sense. It reacts, adapts, and kills according to an intelligence far beyond its own. When a warrior issues commands, gaunts obey. When it dies, the swarm may collapse into disarray. Its body is grown, not born. No lungs, no heart in the conventional sense. Nutrients flow through vascular sacs and pseudovascular pumps, circulating hyper-efficient biochemical fluids. It doesn't need to sleep. It doesn't feel pain like we do. If a limb is lost, it fights with the rest. If its torso is pierced, it keeps going until it's torn apart or reabsorbed. Then there are the weapons, and these aren't bolted on. They're grown directly from its own flesh. A warrior might wield a death spitter that launches corrosive spines from sacks of bone, or a venom cannon that sprays globs of acidic bioplasma. In close combat, they favor bone swords, razor-sharp extensions of their own skeleton, or lash whips that paralyze or disarm prey with a single strike. And here's the worst part. This isn't even their final form. Tyranid Warriors are modular. The Hive Mind designs each based on the battlefield's needs. Need a skirmisher, give it wings. Need a tank buster, add a venom cannon. Need a subterranean ambusher, reinforce the claws and give it armor plates that can deflect explosive charges. Each is a bespoke nightmare, perfectly tuned to a specific function. There's no waste, no redundancy, just design, function, and consumption. Even in death, a Tyranid Warrior isn't gone. Its biomass is absorbed by feeder creatures and drawn back into the hive's digestion pools, where its genetic material is refined and recycled into the next generation. Stronger, deadlier, more efficient. It doesn't fear death. It doesn't desire life. It is anatomy with intent. So next time you hear the rumble of 1,000 claws, or see shadows skittering across the ruins of a dying world, remember, Tyranid Warriors aren't monsters from a myth. They are biology weaponized. How to defeat a Tyranid Warrior. Killing a Tyranid Warrior isn't impossible. It's just horrifically difficult. These creatures aren't just tough. They're smart, coordinated, and backed by an entire ecosystem designed to keep them alive. So if you find yourself facing one, you're not just fighting a monster. You're fighting the will of the Hive Mind itself, Let's talk tactics. First, firepower. Laser guns and autoguns. Forget it. A Tyranid Warrior's biochitin can resist small arms. Like a guardsman shrugs off rain. You'll need heavy ordnance, bolters, plasma, melta, or concentrated volleys from disciplined ranks. Aim for joints and underplates, the seams in its carapace where the armor is weakest. Crack it open, and it bleeds just like anything else, eventually. Second, range. Never fight one up close if you can help it. In melee, Tyranid Warriors are lethal. Bone swords can cut through ceramite. Lash whips can disarm before you blink. Even their claws are designed to sever limbs and tear through flak armor. Space Marines engage with chainswords only when backed by power armor and numbers. For everyone else, keep your distance. Pray it doesn't leap. Third, isolate it. Remember, a warrior is a synapse creature, a node in the Hive Mind psychic network. If you kill one, the creatures it commands, hormagaunts, termagants, even some genestealers, can descend into chaos, acting on instinct rather than coordinated tactics. Cut off the head, and you don't kill the swarm, but you disrupt it. This makes Tyranid Warriors high-priority targets for snipers, strike teams, and orbital bombardment. But here's the catch. The Hive Mind knows this. It adapts. Warriors rarely operate alone. They're protected by swarms of cannon fodder, walls of gaunts, ripper swarms, even Carnifex escorts. You'll need more than bravery. You'll need a plan, kill teams, coordinated strikes, diversions, and the moment you land the killing blow, expect retaliation. The Hive remembers. And if you're thinking about facing one in close combat with anything less than Terminator armor and a relic weapon, then you're not brave. You're already dead. The last rule: don't underestimate them. Every time the Imperium believes it's learned all there is to know about the Tyranids, the Hive Mind brings something new. A tougher carapace, a faster reflex, a smarter synapse strategy, and yes, stronger warriors. Killing one may win the battle, but killing all of them, that's a war the galaxy hasn't won yet. Tyranid Warrior strains. One of the most terrifying truths about the Tyranid Warrior is this: there's no such thing as a standard model. Tyranid Warriors aren't mass-produced. They're grown, tailored, and adapted to fit the exact needs of the Hive Mind at a given moment. Over time, the Tyranids have developed specialized strains, each designed for different combat roles, terrains, and tactical situations. These aren't evolutions. They're intentional mutations, deployed like tools in a bioarsenal. Let's start with the Tyranid Warrior Prime. Taller, tougher, and far deadlier than its kin, the Warrior Prime serves as a commander within the swarm. Its synaptic range is greater, its combat ability enhanced, and its intelligence higher, relatively speaking. It doesn't just fight. It leads, coordinating attacks and issuing psychic commands with brutal efficiency. When you see one of these, that's not just a beast, that's a general. Next, the Tyranid Shrike. Imagine a warrior, but with massive bat-like wings. Shrikes take to the skies, using aerial mobility to strike from unexpected angles. They're perfect for hit-and-run attacks, flanking maneuvers, or descending like predators onto isolated targets. And yes, they can fight just as well in the air as they can on the ground. Then there are the Hive Guard. While technically not warriors in the traditional sense, Hive Guard are likely derived from warrior stock. These heavily armored brutes are bioartillery platforms, carrying impaler cannons or shock cannons that launch hyper-accelerated organic projectiles, capable of punching through cover and even light vehicles. The worst part, their impaler rounds don't even need a line of sight. They track vibrations. If you're hiding, they'll still find you. And for close quarters horror, there are Lash Whip and Bonesword Warriors, bred for melee dominance. These strains sacrifice ranged weaponry entirely, becoming living blenders of bone sinew and psychic rage. Their whip-like limbs can disarm or entangle opponents, while Boneswords slice through armor like it's parchment. But the variations don't stop there. Some Hive Fleets are experimenting with bioplasmic strains, warriors capable of projecting gouts of burning acid or raw warp energy. Others field burrowing strains, designed to emerge from beneath enemy positions. And with each new invasion, we see something different. The Hive Mind doesn't need uniformity. It thrives on diversity through purpose. These strains aren't random mutations. They're evolution with intent. Battlefield data is absorbed through the Hive Mind, digested and applied. If a warrior strain underperforms, it's redesigned. If a strain excels, it's replicated and refined. Every encounter with a new variant costs lives, but each death is just another piece of data for the Hive Mind. You don't beat Tyranids by adapting faster. You can't. That's their game. Outro. The Tyranid Warrior is more than just a battlefield threat. It's a warning. A warning that, in the far reaches of the cosmos, evolution is not guided by compassion, culture, or civilization, but by the brutal logic of survival. The warrior is not a freak of nature, it's the ideal product of it. Designed to command, to kill, and to die without hesitation, all in service of something far greater than itself. The Hive Mind. There's no glory in defeating one. No parley, no peace. Because where you see a single warrior, the Hive sees a limb, and when that limb is severed, it simply grows another, stronger, sharper, more efficient. Every bullet spent, every soldier lost, every world consumed. These are footnotes in the endless, recursive calculation of the Hive Mind, and the warriors are the messengers of that cold final truth. You can fight them, you can kill them, but you will never outgrow them. And in the end, the Hive always returns.